Gerhard in the Q&A says, hello, Mr. Keshe. Today's physics determines the size of the suns and stars from their absolute brightness. We have learned, see book 2, that light is created in the interaction between plasmatic fields of cosmic objects. So we never see the surface of the cosmic object itself, because the light always originates at a large cosmic distance in front of the object. I imagine it is like in the cinema where you see the film on a screen and not in the projector. 3 parts to his question. Does this mean that star charts are useless because reality is completely different? And 2, the luminous intensity or brightness is not dependent on the material size of the star. What are the influencing factors then? And 3, are specific Maglev maps used for navigation in space for those who travel by donkey? What he means is UFOs in the universe.
We have answered this in depth in somewhere in one of the teachings, somewhere in the past times, and it's in one of the books. And in the book number 4, the solar creation of what we call solar systems, I explained that in detail. I had a discussion with Dirk Lorentzens, how we're going to show this, how we're going to create a visual picture for this. You got to understand, you have the center of the system, we call it the soul, usually empty because of the fields, pulls and pushes. Then you have the, what I call, we call it the brain, we call it the magma part of it, we call it the field material strength. And then you have where the fields have reduced and they have created what we call a layer, the top layer. In a way that this top layer is Ganser state, nano-Ganser state plasma. So the light we see from the stars comes from the interaction of the fields from the center in interaction with the material on the surface, with the gases on the surface. In a way, when we have the sun and the interaction of the fields of the sun with Earth creates a light in the angle of facing the sun. We have, do you see in my diagram is one picture I don't see. So we have the same, instead of this interaction happening on the upper atmosphere of the Earth, it happens on the surface of the star itself. This is how the lights of the star are created. It's the law of physics. But here you have gases, you have what we call plasma, which has gained inertial plasma strength. And by interaction of the fields internally from itself creates the light of the star. And what is the content or the mixture of this reduction, what do you call it, the field strength of the plasma dictates the color of the star. This is exactly like a diamond. Here, if it's slightly different strength, we see a blue diamond, yellow diamond, and the rest of them. So creation of the lights of the star is so intense that, in fact, we have a zone which is nothing but influence of the lights coming is so intense. And sometimes what we see as the clouds, the dark clouds, is the motion of these on top of the surface. we actually see the surface of the star? Is question, because we see different things, because we never understood. But in the future, in this magma section, would we be able to find the actual surface or physical surface of the star? Is possible. So what we see is the field intensity of the fields. It's very much like a cloud, but because it's monoenergetic, you get this. This is why when I tell you, when you have the UFOs, you have the same problem. With the UFOs, you have a central system, which is the soul, and you create the fields on the other hand for the interaction. Due to monoenergetic of the center and the field created as a protection, you always get the silver color. You see a bright color, monoenergetic, because of the same reason. We create this and this from the same source, so the same plasma. Then how you dictate the fields of this B dictates, and there are ways to do it, to create a dark matter, dark energy. This is a knowledge which we never teach. If you read the paper about the creation of the black hole and you understand the true knowledge given, you understand how you can make UFOs, how you can make flying objects which are dark in flight. And because they're dark and they are created that way to absorb all the fields, you can never detect. This is how the Iranian forces annihilated the American base in Iraq. And this is what knowledge Iran will never pass on. And if we change the light strength in the center or a dimension of fields, then you can make, as we made it bright, make it black, we can make it any color. Now we have LED of yellow, green, and whatever, and it depends what current you put into it and how they structure it. It's the same process, but now interaction of the fields of the plasma. This is why your aura changes to different color, because the soul is the same. You have the physicality, and you put different foods inside it. And this food creates the soul of the physicality emotion, which is your blood. So as you change apple, it'll be purple. As you change meat, it'll be green. And if you have made a mixture of the foods, you see different layers over. And people say, we got a machine we can make. It's so simple. I laugh when I see these machines, but in a way, it's a good thing to see. So we understand the process. So it's how we feel internally we can do. And you understand this process. In space, you can dictate what energies you want to absorb, not to eat. But you live on the energy of the universal systems.